Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Geaux Stros. Thank you so much for being here today. I missed yesterday. I planned to do the game yesterday, but since it started at 2 a.m., I was much more tired and exhausted than I realized I was going to be. So I was not able to do that. If you missed me, I apologize, but I am here for today's game. Astros game 1 versus the Mariners in Seattle. Lance McCullers is back on the mound again today. Very interested to see how he comes out again with this particular outing. Obviously, one of his outings is a little infamous right now, but even more infamous than that is the response of some people. I will not call them fans. I'm getting tired of the media referring to these people as fans, the ones that were issuing death threats and that sort of thing to McCullers, his family, and loved ones. Those are not fans. I guarantee you 100% those are people betting on the games. Those were not fans. Let's see here. Let me get a little comfortable. I am at a net cafe again today because I did not make it back to my home in time last night. I have to get my satellite connection troubleshooted, I guess you could say, a little bit, because my Starlink system has some obstructions. The main obstruction is my house. That's right. My house is quite large, and right now I do not have the Starlink satellite dish up high enough. I've got to get it moved up literally onto the house. Right now I'm trying to get myself situated in here. I've got a chair that sits flat on this floor. And right now I'm just trying to get it situated. There's no, I guess you could say there's no real chair in this room. The room that I'm in right now is just a flat mat. If you can figure out how to sit on it, it's comfortable. But getting it figured out is the tricky part. I think I've got it figured out for now. But I've got my setup ready to go. I've got my scoreboard ready. Got my game info ready. Alright, looks like I got my live score ready. Scoreboard seems to be working. You can see the score changing on the screen. I'm just testing my scoreboard, make sure it's working okay. I know that my avatar seems to be going a little crazy on the screen. That's primarily because I have my not sunglasses, I have my glasses on, regular glasses. We are just moments away from the first pitch of the game. McCullers is on the mound for the Astros. Oh, it looks a little crazy here. The Astros. Oh, I actually have to change some information on the screen. Let's see here. First pitch on the way from McCullers. First pitch is outside for ball one. Let's see if we can get a little game preview. A little bit of a game preview. It's a little off. I need to fix that. Ball 2, 2-0 is the count to J.P. Crawford, the leadoff batter for the Mariners. Second pitch from McCullers is on the way. Way high and outside. Ball 3 right off the bat. See if I can get my window fixed here. Way outside and high. A 4-pitch walk to start the game. McCullers looking a little off from the start. That's an interesting start. 4-pitch walk to J.P. Crawford. Runner on first in the first inning. No outs. Jorge Polanco comes to the plate. First pitch to him is too high. 5 straight balls for McCullers. 1-0 is the count against Polanco. Here comes the next pitch. Finally in there. 80-mile-per-hour slider. Count is 1-1 to Polanco. I see in the live stream. I got a comment from Jordan. Good to see you here, Jordan. Welcome back. Nice to be back. Here's the pitch. Grounded foul down the first baseline. A knuckle curve, 81 miles per hour. 1 ball, 2 strikes. McCullers finally comes back. Gets ahead in the count. Jordan says, I'll be on and off. We should have swept the lesser team, unless we're the lesser team. But okay, could still be okay. Could still sweep the M's. Yeah, you're right. We could. We got the power to do it. That one's in the dirt. Caratini stops it. He is behind the plate for the Astros today. 2 balls and 2 strikes is the count. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from McCullers. Long delay. Oh, half swing strike. Good pitch there. 82-mile-per-hour slider. Polanco goes down. High slider. Got the half swing. You could say half-hearted swing. 1 away, runner on first. That brings up Cal Raleigh. Altuve is in left field. First pitch to Raleigh is way inside and low for ball 1. McCullers at 10 pitches already. A double play ball would get him right on target for pitch count. Next pitch is low and inside, but in the strike zone. Nice toss, strike 1. One ball, 1 strike to Raleigh. Next pitch is also in there. Another slider, 82 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jordan says we have to sweep. If not, I just make sure I give you a like. Oh, thank you, Jordan. I appreciate that. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Wow, look at that. And he went for it. Foul tip into the glove of Caratini. Strike 2. So 2 strikeouts. So after the walk, back-to-back strikeouts. Two sliders. Same result. 2 away. Next batter is a Rosarina. Takes that first pitch in there for a strike. 15th pitch of the game coming in for Rosarina in just a moment. High and outside, and that evens the count, 1-1. For some reason, when I glanced at this game information, I thought it was going to be in Seattle. Wondering why the Astros are batting as the home team. That would be ball 2. 2-1. Two outs, runner on first here in the top of the first. McCullers with the 2-1 pitch. A little high and inside, just misses the zone. 3-1. Here's the next toss. Oh, swing, check swing. Did he go? Wow, they say didn't swing. Unbelievable. Thought he went on that one. Let's take a look. Ooh, that was close. Ball 4. 2 runners on with 2 walks. 2 outs. Rowdy Tellez comes to the plate. He'll be the next guy to play the game. Here comes the first pitch from McCullers to Tellez. Low and inside, misses by quite a margin. 1 ball, no strikes. George says at this point, no hope left. We always sweep. Yes, we sweep everybody from now on. Here's the next pitch. Right in there in the bottom of the zone, an 83-mile-an-hour slider. 1 ball, 1 strike. $20 pitches now for McCullers. Here's the next one. Low and outside, taken for ball 2. Don't know why they appealed that check swing. Didn't look like he was anywhere near going around, but I guess it never hurts to check, just in case. 2-1 is the count with 2 outs. Runner on first and second. Here's the delivery from McCullers. Right in there. 88 miles an hour in the upper part of the zone, and that evens the count, 2-2. Tellez takes a timeout for a moment. Two balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Here's the pitch. This is hit up the middle, and that's going to be down for a base hit, and that's going to score at least 1 run. Myers grabs it, brings it in. They hold up the other runner at third. RBI single, runners on the corners. Mariners now lead the game 1-0. Single right up the middle for Tellez, and the Mariners are in the lead. Josh Miller, the pitching coach, is going to come out and have a little chit chat with McCullers. McCullers keeping consistent with the fact that he pitches so much. He's throwing so many pitches. Look at this. The Astros, according to the data I'm seeing, they are the second worst team in the first inning with the run differential. Minus 23 in the first inning. The main problem there is not the pitching, though. It's the hitting. I think they only have 11 runs in the entire season in the first inning. Deody Taveras comes to the plate. He's got runners on the corners with 2 outs. Facing McCullers. Here comes the toss. This one's hit really hard out into right center field, but at the track by Cam Smith, he's able to put away for out number 3. So thankfully the park contains it, but not before McCullers gives up 1 in the first inning. So the Astros are down 1-0. But the good thing is we're out of the inning. Got a little bit of work to do, but 1-0 is much better than 10-0 in the first inning, right? Sorry, but it had to be said. It had to be said. Let's see. Let's take a look at the Astros lineup for today, shall we? I think you guys know that Pena is leading it off today in the first spot, but batting second is Isaac Paredes, followed by Jose Altuve. Yainer Diaz is batting fourth in the DH spot, followed by Christian Walker, and then Victor Caratini, who's catching today. Jake Myers is batting seventh, Cam Smith batting eighth, and Mauricio Dubon at second base today, batting ninth. I don't quite understand that, really, to be honest. Why Dubon plays at second base whenever Altuve is in the game. I feel like it should be switched. If it's Brendan in the game, I can understand why they have him at second base, because that's where he plays. But Dubon can play left field, I think, just as easily, if not more easily, than Jose Altuve. Pena comes to the plate. He's about to lead it off for the Astros. Let's see if we can actually get some runs here in the first inning. George Kirby on the mound for the old Mariners. Here's the pitch. Whoa, we got hit on the very first pitch. Look at that. The very first pitch, right out of the gate. The Flash gets hit. Man, he went right after him, hit him immediately. Look at that. Right in the back of the arm, between the back and the back of the arm. Well, that's a way to start the game, right? Start the first inning. One pitch, hit by pitch. Hopefully that's a foreshadowing of his control today. Isaac Paredes comes to the plate. First pitch to him is on the way. That's right in there. Totally opposite of the last pitch. That was 98 miles an hour right in the middle of the plate. Right across the plate. Right across the meat of the plate. 0-1. Perez steps out of the box, takes a timeout. Got about 10 people following right now. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you like the live stream. That really helps me out. Got 8 likes so far. That's really good. Thanks so much. Here's the next pitch to Paredes. That one was about 1.5 inches out of the zone. Called a strike. 0-2. 3 pitches for Kirby so far. One hit Pena. The next 2 have been strikes to Paredes. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. That was about half a foot out of the zone for ball one. A sinker at 98 miles an hour. 1-2 is the count. What do you guys think about that last series against the Rays? What are your feelings? Here's the 1-2 pitch. Pena is going to second, but that ball is hit sky high out to left field. Man, a towering shot. He was aiming for the Crawford boxes there. Man, what a blast there. One and two again. Here it comes. This is grounded to the shortstop. Could be a double play, and it is. Too bad Pena wasn't stealing on that pitch. Could have avoided the double play, but oh well. 2 away. That brings up Jose Altuve, my man, my hero. First pitch is high, but a strike. 99 mile an hour sinker. Next pitch coming from Kirby. Little low and outside. Could have been a strike, but called a ball. One and one the count to Altuve, 2 outs, nobody on. This one's hit right to the shortstop, caught by J.P. Crawford on a 1-hop. Good catch there. That was a rocket. Altuve really put the bat on it. But it was scooped up and fired over to first by Crawford. Just a good defensive play, and that's it for the Astros in the first. So, once again, the Astros do nothing in the first. The first inning continues to be a problem for the Astros. They are minus 24 runs in the first inning, the second worst team in baseball. The worst team in baseball has minus 33 runs. The Astros are second worst. It's just because they don't score runs in the first inning. It's just become a problem. Got a dozen people watching right now. We are at the top of the second inning in commercial break at the moment. In just a moment, the Mariners will be up to bat. Once again facing Lance McCullers. McCullers is already up to 24 pitches just in the first inning. Pitching like that, he won't even last 4 innings. Pitching like that every inning would be 100 pitches in 4 innings. That'd be crazy. Dylan Moore is due up for the Mariners. He'll be at the plate momentarily. And I am coming at you live from a city called Saijo in East Hiroshima. It is about a 45-minute drive from my house. I had to go to the hospital yesterday for my typical hospital appointment. It used to be a monthly appointment, but since I lost my insurance, it's become an every 3-month appointment. McCullers is back on the mound, ready to go. Here's the first pitch to Moore. Moore hits that hard out to center field all the way to the wall, and that's going to be gone. That's a home run. Very first pitch of the second inning, and it's now 2-0. McCullers gives up a home run on the very first pitch. 2-0, just like that. That's crazy. The very first pitch by Kirby hit Pena. Very first pitch here, a sinker that didn't move. This one is hit out. 413 feet to center field. 2-0, Mariners. McCullers having a little shaky start here. I mean, there's still hope, but we'll see. Next pitch is just a little high. Miles Mastrobuoni. 1 ball, no strikes. Here comes the next toss. That one's on that outside edge in the top upper outer corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mastrobuoni, the left-handed hitter. Here's the next pitch. Wide up the middle, scooped up by Pena, fired over to first. Good play by Pena to cover that one. That one could have been a single. He was just barely there in time. 1 away. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. I forgot to mute my microphone. In this room here, I'm not supposed to have any drinks, which is unfortunate. I need some more coffee. First pitch to Ben Williamson is outside for ball 1. Next pitch on the way. That one catches the outside edge. 82-mile-per-hour slider. The count's 1-1. Daniel, happy Thursday and happy Friday from Hiroshima. Swing and a miss, low and outside. Another slider, about 82 miles an hour. That one actually had some movement on it. 15 people following along right now. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you like the channel. I think I've got 9 likes. Need 1 more to get to 10. And 11 more to get to 20. Here's the next toss. Right in the bottom of the zone. No, just too low. Just barely below. That evens the count, 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That's up the middle, and that one's going to get through just over the glove of McCullers. That's a single. Hit number 4. And runner on first base with 1 out. McCullers up to about 34 pitches. J.P. Crawford is back up at the plate. Second time facing McCullers already. Swing and a miss right in there. An 82-mile-per-hour slider. 0-1 is the count. 1 runner on, 1 out. There's the next pitch. High and outside. Evens the count, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Astros down 2-0 right now. 1 run given up per inning so far for McCullers. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Just a little outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Clint, position players pitching this series for sure. I sure hope not. Check swing, did he go? They say, yes, he did. Crawford's not happy about that. But that will be strike 2. Let's take a look at that. No side shot? Okay. That's not very helpful. Give us a different angle. 2-2 is the count with 1 out. Here's the next pitch to Crawford. Colors delivery on the way. Broken bat. Paredes picks it up and can't handle it. He loses it. Looks like he was trying to figure out where to go before he caught the ball. Unfortunately, that should be the second error of the season on Isaac Paredes. Man, I can't believe he committed an error there. He was getting ahead of himself, looked like. Yeah, he missed it on the transfer. He was thinking about getting the second base runner, but he got so excited about it. He messed up, so we have runners on first and second. That definitely doesn't help McCullers. Jorge Polanco comes to the plate. He struck out his last at bat. 2 runners on with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Grounded off the plate. Strike 1. So one thing that McCullers doesn't need is defensive errors. Man, Astros can't be looking like they did last year. They had too many mistakes last year on defense. They were looking really solid this year, but they've had a couple of games recently where they've fallen off. Not sure what's going on there. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Grounded foul down the first baseline. Strike 2. McCullers gets ahead in the count. Got the Baker's dozen following the game right now, and 10 likes. Thank you so much. 10 more to go, and I'll get to 20. That's my minimal goal for these live streams now, is 20. 30 is my preference, and 40 is my dream goal. That's kind of where I'm at right now with the channel. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Way high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 41 pitches now for McCullers. A nice double play ball would go a long way right now, but that one is outside. We'll have ourselves a 2-2 count. Two and two, 2 runners on. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. All right. Picks up another strikeout on Polanco. Polanco has been plunked back to back by McCullers. 2 away. 2 runners on, first and second. 2 outs here in the 2nd inning. Cal Raleigh is back up at the plate. McCullers 1 out away from getting out of this inning and keeping the lead to just 2. Here's the first pitch to Raleigh. Swing and a miss. Good movement on that knuckle curve, low and inside, and he goes after it. Oh, and 1 is the count. Here comes the toss. Now he goes after that one and hits it way up high, back out of play. But that, my friends, is strike 2. 0 and 2. McCullers now have some options, or now has some options. You know, it's been kind of a mixed bag for McCullers so far, but there's one thing that has remained consistent is the pitch count is incredibly high. He's going to have to start getting that down. Here comes the the 0 and 2 pitch, and that's an 0-2 strikeout. Heck yes. 1 home run and a hit, but McCullers finally gets out of it. Keeps the damage to the solo shot. Goes into the bottom of the 2nd. 2-0 Mariners. Yainer Diaz is due up for the Astros in just a moment, followed by Christian Walker and the Batman, Victor Caratini. Anything going on in the chat right now? Nothing right now. 15 people following along with 11 likes. Thank you so much. If you haven't liked the live stream, please do so. But remember, I'm just a single guy. I'm not a big business or anything like that. I am living in Japan. Because of health conditions, I'm trying to recover. I'm doing my best to recover from a serious health condition, so I just do a few things. I spend my time online doing this. I have another channel, another YouTube channel that's basically centered around my old house where I live in Japan. And I do some DIY stuff out there as I'm able, but right now my main focus is recovering my health. If I don't have my health, I don't have a chance. And according to the doctor, he doesn't think that I have much of a chance. He thinks it's just a matter of a short amount of time. But you know what? I have no desire to exit this life as early as he thinks. I want to stick around. I want to do some stuff. My hope is that I can have another love, have a family, have that career that I want, that I've always dreamed of. Just like everybody else, love and be loved, be happy, do the things that I love. So I appreciate your support. First pitch of Diaz is on the way. Right in there. Don't know why he pulled away. That ball was outside. I guess he was fooled by it. 0-1 is the count to Diaz. Kirby's next pitch on the way. Way up out of the zone. Yiner swings at it. 97-mile-per-hour sinker, 0-2. That ball was more than a foot above the top of the zone. What was he thinking? Here comes the 0-2 pitch. In the dirt. Now Yiner goes after the ball in the dirt. 87 miles an hour. That was what I would call classic Yiner right there. Swing at a ball about 18 inches above the zone and then swing at a ball in the dirt. Strike out. What are you doing? One away. That brings up Christian Walker. Let's see if he can help the Astros regain some face. Here comes the pitch. That one's outside. Sinker 97, missing by a wide margin. Astros without a hit so far, but they do have an error. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That one's in there, but fouled off. Another 97-mile-per-hour pitch, a sinker this time. 16 people watching now. Good to have you here. Do remember to like the live stream if you haven't already, and a subscription would be awesome if you like the Astros and you're interested in the live play-by-play. Top of the zone there. Wow, the umpire laid off. I thought that was going to be in the top of the zone. 98. Just missed somehow. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Right in the inside of the plate, hit up the middle and caught. Taveras comes in, makes the running catch. 2 outs. Walker hits it just a tad too hard. Isn't it funny? Hit it too hard or too light, it's going to find a glove. Victor Caratini, the Batman, is at the plate. He swings at the first pitch. Fouls it back. 98-mile-per-hour sinker. 0-1 with 2 outs, no runners on. Yeah, got a dozen likes now. 8 more to go to get to 20. Here's the next pitch to Caratini. Little check swing. Did he go? Looks like he did. Low and inside on that sinker. Fooled him and he calls timeout. He wants to rethink this situation. Maybe check his utility belt. Does he have a grappling hook to save himself from a strikeout here? Let's see. 0-2 pitch with 2 outs coming from Kirby. Way outside. I would say good eye, but the only person that would swing at that would be Diaz, or maybe Altuve, but Altuve has a better chance of hitting it than Diaz. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the toss. That's in there and fouled off at the plate. Just barely got a piece of it. Count remains 1-2. Clint Cava says, "What's your other channel called?" I can post it there. It's called English Vera, but Akia Kominga Life. One ball, 1 strike to Victor Caratini. Here's the toss. A little high. Holds up that time. Evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kirby looking for the call. He's got it. Now here comes the toss. On the outside edge, and is barely through. The Astros have their first hit of the game with Caratini's opposite field poke. So he did have something in the old utility belt. He pulled himself out a little single. Nice little tap. Little tap, tap, taparoo. A tap, tappy. He sends the ball home. Caratini on first with 2 outs. And that brings up Mr. Baseball, Jake Myers. First pitch from Kirby on the way in just a moment. And after a long delay, here it comes. Swing and a miss. Ball up in the zone. 97. Myers couldn't quite handle that. Let's see here. I think I can put my... Yeah, I can put my link here in the chat. There we go. That's the link to my other channel. 0-1 is the count. Here's the pitch. That one goes all the way to the backstop. Caratini can trot to second base. Wild pitch by Kirby. That's the second one like that this game. The first one straight at and hit Pena. The count is 1-1. So we have a runner in scoring position now. Alright, Myers just needs a decent hit here. Here's a 1-1 pitch. That's more than a foot outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Kirby's starting to lose it, man. He's starting to lose it. He's getting shaky. His castle is starting to crumble. 2 balls and 1 strike to Myers. Here's the toss. High fastball. Or a cutter, they say. 98 miles an hour. Fouled off. The count is even at 2-2. Caesar says a sweep, Stros a sweep. I wish, man. I'm wanting it. I'm wanting it. 12 people watching and 14 likes. Awesome. 6 more to go to get to 20 likes. Hook me up, peeps. 3 hits for the Mariners, 1 hit for the Astros so far. They have an opportunity now to drive a guy in with a decent hit. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Myers with Caratini on second. Kirby comes set. He's about to toss the rock. Here it comes. Low and outside in the dirt. Another one kind of wild, but catcher's able to stop it. Full count. If Myers gets on, or should I say when Myers gets on, Cam Smith will be due up. Full counts, 2 outs, runner on second. Here comes the pitch. Strike 3. You got to swing at that, Myers. You got to swing at that. Lower outside corner. Nice and fast. But you got to swing at it. If it's anywhere close, you got to swing. You can't let that go. That's amateur stuff right there. Everybody knows that. Top of the third coming up. Astros down 2-0. So far, the Mariners have scored 1 run every inning. Hopefully, McCullers can shut that down here. He's averaging 23 pitches per inning right now with 46 total. How nice would it be to see him get out of this inning with less than 10 pitches? That would be great. Awesome. 15 likes on the live stream so far. That's excellent. 13 people following along right now. I think the maximum we've had on this particular live stream so far is 18. And that's not too bad right now for this early part of the game. It seems to be dropping a little bit, so maybe the Stros fans come in and go, nah, forget that. Oh, I need to change the field name. I just realized I haven't changed the name of the field. Why in the world do I always miss that? I seem to always miss that. We are in Dykeen Park, guys. You probably know that. There we go. And we'll move that over a little bit to center it up. McCullers is back on the mound. He's going to be facing Randy Rosarina. First pitch to Rosarina is on the way, in the dirt and outside for ball one. Here's the next toss. That one is in the lower part of the zone for strike one. Count is even 1-1 against the Rosarina. The Astros commentators are just talking about the Star Wars weekend that's coming up. Rosarina hits that out into left field, line drive, and Altuve is able to grab it. Good nab by Altuve. What's your favorite day of the week, guys? Friday, Saturday? My favorite is Tuve. Altuve's Day. Altuve's Day. That's my favorite day of the week. Jose Altuve's Day. Next pitch is on the way, right in the bottom of the zone, a knuckle curve for strike one. That looks like Tellez. You see a big, beefy guy at the plate for the Mariners. It's got to be Tellez. It's a telling signal that it's Tellez. 0-1 is the count. He fouls this one off. It looks like it might be in play, actually, over on the left side. Now Paredes gets over there and it hits off the net. He gave it the old college try. Give the man a hand. That is strike two. 0-2. Oh, I don't have the right logo on the screen either. I forgot to change that. Here's the next pitch, basically in the dirt there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Guys, I apologize for that. I've got the Rays logo on there. My bad. There we go. Now I've got it fixed. This is what happens when I do stuff early in the morning. There we go. Tellez goes down. Strikeout number, what, 3? Or 4? For McCullers. Out number 2 this inning. Here's the pitch. A little outside to Leody Taveras. Here's the next pitch. Right in there and grounded foul down the first baseline. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs, no runners on here in the top of the third. This is hit really hard to right field all the way out to the fence. Foul. Whew. Okay. That was a little dangerous. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Taveras. 56 pitches now for McCullers. Taveras takes a momentary timeout. Now he's back in the box. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 57th pitch of the game on the way. Fouled off. McCullers is going to have to do a little bit more work to get this last out. Well, if he can manage to get Taveras before he gets to 60 pitches, he'll be back down to less than 20 pitches per inning average. Here's the next toss. Way outside. He's not going to do it like that. The cutter missing by almost 2 feet. The count is even, 2-2. 15 people following and 16 likes. Thanks so much. The next pitch is on the way. Swing and miss on the inside. How about that? McCullers picks up another strikeout. Heck yes. Yeah, he's given up a couple of runs, but McCullers does have some nice strikeouts going on. Astros commentators are completely useless that inning. Talking the whole time about the Alvarez bobblehead and all of the stuff they're giving away at some of these games. The throwback jerseys, the Star Wars weekend and all that stuff. They didn't talk about the game at all. Not at all. The whole time they're just yammering about all of the stuff. It's a little distracting because I'm trying to pay attention to the game. But that's what I'm doing, guys. Paying attention to the game. And right now, we're going into the bottom of the third. 1 hit for the Astros, 3 for the Mariners. Mariners lead 2-0. Cam Smith is due up, followed by Mauricio Dubon. And then the top of the batting order with Jeremy Pena. Pena saw 1 pitch. He got hit. This next at bat will be maybe his first opportunity to see a real pitch, unless he gets hit again. 4 more likes to get the live stream to 20. That's great, guys. If I can get to 20 before the end of the third inning, that would be phenomenal. That would just be phenomenal. I'd like that very much. As a matter of fact, if I get to 20 likes, I just might call somebody, send them a message or something, and say, hey, I'm at 20 likes. Did you guys hear the news about Ronel Blanco? Suddenly the Astros keep having issues with injuries. Not sure exactly what's going on, but it is what it is. Hey, look at that. Almost. The very first pitch. Cam Smith goes right after Kirby. Opposite field, just misses an extra base hit by a few feet. That was a nice way to start the attack. Just got around a little too late. Straighten that out just a tad there, Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith. Here's the pitch. How about that one? Broken bat single. Not the double, but heck. 2 swings, a broken bat. And Cam Smith. Crank it up, Cam. "96-mile-per-hour pitch there." We have a leadoff base runner with no outs. 2 hits now for the Stros. Mauricio Dubon comes to the plate. If I say that, does that date me to you guys? If I say plate, instead of plate. Here comes the first pitch to Dubon. Right in the top of the zone. I'm surprised Dubon didn't go after that first pitch. 96 miles an hour. Come on, Dubon. Show us what you got, bro. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Smith on first. Hey, another hit, right center field. Smith might be able to go to third. And he is. He wheels into third, no problem. Runners on the corners with no outs. Back-to-back singles for the Astros. Three hits now for the Astros. Astros 9-hole hitters continuing to get it done. One of the positives of the Astros offense right now is the bottom of the batting order. Their performance has been top of the league. All right, Jeremy Pena is now at the plate with a chance to finally hit. And he swings at that one for a foul ball down the first base side. Strike one. 16 people following along right now with 17 likes. Thank you so much. Got 17 likes on the live stream. Just one more. And I'll be 2 away from 20. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Pena. Runners on the corners, no outs. Kirby tosses it right in there. 97 mile per hour pitch. 0-2, just like that on Pena. Pena needs some payback, man. He got hit on the very first pitch of the first inning. Let's see if he can get a little payback. Let's see some RBIs right here, Mr. Pena. Here's the pitch. Oh, did he get him again? Yeah, he hit him again. Can you believe that? He hit him on the arm. Pena gets another hit by pitch. The Mariners go straight to the camera. They're going to take another look at it here to make sure. Yeah, they got him on the arm, just barely. Looked like it. Yeah, it looks like that's going to be bases loaded, guys, for Isaac Paredes. How do you like them apples? Check that out. Set the table, my friend. The king has come home to have dinner. How about a Crawford Boxes grand slam to take this lead? How about that? That'd be nice. Here comes the toss. Inside, ball one. Good take. Just missed by a couple of inches on that 87 mile per hour changeup. 2 grand slams in his career. Here comes the next pitch. That's in there, top of the zone, an 89 mile per hour cutter. Evens it up 1-1. Mark says, way too many arm injuries. I heard there's a new partner in ownership also. I hope this rumor is true. I think it could help. It could definitely help. Paredes calls timeout, steps out of the box. Big opportunity for the Astros right here. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Ooh, right on that outside edge. Could have gone either way, but 97, that was borderline, but right on the edge of the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Come on, Paredes. The Crawford Boxes are calling your name. Isaac the ball. Here's the pitch. Opposite field foul ball. Count stays 1-2. 19 people following along and 18 likes. 2 more to get to 20, guys. Get me to 20 likes before the end of this inning. If the Astros get a grand slam here, you can give me extra likes. Here's the toss. Opposite field foul ball again. This one bounced down the first baseline. Count remains 1-2. Bases juiced. I just realized I have another way to show some information on the screen. I might do that. I'll take a look at it later. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. This is grounded to the third base side. He bobbles it. He goes to second. He's safe. Safe. Did they get him at second? It looked like they were both safe, but they might have to take a look at it at second base. 2-1. Astros score 1 run on that. Let's take another look at it. Ooh, it looked like he did get him at second base, but just barely. They weren't able to get the double play, though. 2-1 Astros. 1 away. Not an amazing play, but thanks to the bobble, we have ourselves another opportunity. They're going to actually call that a fielder's choice, but my hero comes to the plate, Jose Altuve. And to be honest, I'd much rather see Altuve do something right here and score some runs, some big runs, than Paredes, for multiple reasons. One, he's my hero, obviously. But another reason is that he could really bolster his confidence right now. YSB says, Astros, let's go. I'd love a grand slam. I would have loved one too, but, you know, Altuve's up with 2 runners on. We have a good opportunity. Turn the season around right here, Altuve. First pitch from Kirby. Runners on the corners. Here's the pitch. Fouls that first pitch off 98 miles an hour. Who's batting? There's nobody batting named Nolan. 0-1 is the count to Altuve, and here's the toss from Kirby. Fouled back. 0-2. The sinker, 98 miles an hour, up and in. MySpace had to roll me a joint. Astros had me nervous. And he says they usually do pretty good at home. They can take this game. They can. They could take the series, and they need to. Especially after that last series. They need to play up. Play up. This is the team to beat right here. Right now, this is the team. Here's the pitch. Hit to right field all the way out to the wall. Might be deep enough to score another run. Should, and it does. Dubon runs in, a sacrifice fly for Altuve. It's 2-2. The Astros tie it up. 2 away, 15 RBIs for Altuve this year. Opposite field hit. Nice, smooth, level swing. Don't try to do anything crazy. Just get it out there. Ties the game up. There we go. That brings up Yainer Diaz. Struck out his last at bat. Looks like he's trying to do it again with that pitch. Goes after one in the dirt for an 0-1 count. 21 people watching, 19 likes. One more, guys. Just one more. Get me to 20 likes before this inning is over. That would be freaking awesome. 1 runner on first. 2 outs. 1 strike. Here comes the toss to Diaz. Yainer goes really hard out into left field, but that's going to be foul. Holy cow, he crushed that one. 86 mile an hour changeup. No wonder he got around on it so early. I don't know why they even pitch a changeup to Yainer. Just throw fastballs. Throw them in the dirt. Throw him out of the zone and in the dirt. He'll swing at him. Here's the next pitch. Way outside. Man, that was like 1.5 feet outside. Did he think he was going to swing at that one? I mean, he was... I understand it's Diaz, but maybe even he has his limits. It's got to look like it's going in the zone, you know. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the next pitch. Hit just like that. See, that was better. Not good for the Astros, not good for Yainer, but it looked like it was going in the zone, and then it wound up about 1 foot outside of the zone. Perfect pitch for Yainer to swing and miss at. Maybe the Mariners are listening to my channel right now. Hey, listen, they're telling us the weaknesses of the Astros. Well, I'll tell you this, if they're relying on me to help them out, then they're in more trouble and than I have any clue about. We go into the top of the fourth, guys. The Astros did put 2 runs on the board in 1 inning to even the game up. We are now even Steven, 2-2. YSB says I'd win 800 if Astros win. Well, good luck. But I don't bet on games. Mark says Altuve's bat looks 8 feet long. Nolan rumored to be new partner. Ah, okay, I see what you're saying. BitDog, good to see you. He says, hey fans, Geaux Stros, and thank you for coming back. Thank you for being here. Trinity Rodriguez says 22 likes. Right now it's at 21. Maybe somebody removed their like. But that's awesome, guys. You got me to 20 likes by the end of the 3rd. That's awesome. That's great. I'll be really happy to get this video, to get this live stream rather, up to 30 likes before the end of this game. That would be really nice. But getting it to 20 likes is the main good goal right now. I've noticed an increase recently with the performance of the channel. Subscribers are kind of going up, averaging close to 10 new per day. That's awesome. That's a lot. I think that I'll be easily over 400 subs before the end of the month, but I'd love to hit 500. Dylan Moore is at the plate. He takes the first pitch for ball 1. Here's the second pitch from McCullers. That's in there and fouled off for strike 1. Evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. 61 pitches now for McCullers. Here's the next toss. Ooh, just barely missed. Up and away. 2-1. Mark says you're a rock star now. 22 likes early. Heck yes, Mark. This one's hit straight up in the air. Cam Smith comes in. He's got it. Yep, he calls for it. Puts it away. Good job, Cam. Cam the man. You know, guys, I have my plan. I can share it with you. Just the simple plan. 1, build my YouTube channel up over the next several months. 2, build my Cominca up and my business there. And then 3, get into my production company. Of course, recovering my health in the process. First pitch to Mastroboni is outside for ball 1. 1-0. Here's the next pitch from McCullers. Outside again. Six strikeouts so far for McCullers today. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Mastroboni. That's in there, right on the outside edge. I was hesitant to call that for a second because it was a strike, but the umpire delayed for a moment. He finally acknowledged it. 2-1 is the count. Here comes the next pitch. Little too far outside again. 3 balls, 1 strike. One away, no runners on here in the top of the 4th. Here comes the next lob from McCullers, way up high and out. That looked like a lob. 82 miles an hour slider. Couple of feet up, couple of feet out. Ball 4. We have a 1-out base runner. click it or ticket? That's something I haven't heard in a while. Ben Williamson comes to the plate. He's 1 for 1 today with a single off McCullers. 69th pitch of the game coming right now. Low and outside, another ball. The slider sliding way too far out there. Pitch number 70. Here it comes. Foul back for strike number 1. The count is even. It looks like it's, yeah, our view count is hanging out between 15 and about 22. 22 likes right now on the live stream. That's nice. Keep it going. 8 more to 30. Here comes the 1-1 pitch from McCullers. Williamson swings at that one, taps it up the middle. Looks like they're going to have to just tag the runner. He's just standing there playing around like a weirdo. Finally, Dubon tags him out. I wish Dubon had just tried to toss that one to Pena and gone for the double play. I don't know why he just held up there and thought he would run into the tag. Not sure what was going on there. If you guys watched that, that was a little strange. The ball was tapped up the middle. Dubon grabbed it, tried to make the tag. The runner just held up. Might have cost him a double play. Crawford is at the plate. Just a little low. That was close. Man, that could have gone either way. 1-0. Next pitch is a little outside. I actually accidentally put a strike on the screen, but that's ball 2. 2-0 is the count to Crawford with a runner on first. 2 outs. Here comes the next pitch. Right in there. That one is on the inside edge comfortably. Nice slider. 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Woo! Couple inches high, couple inches out. 3 balls, 1 strike. McCullers now at 75 pitches. Here comes the 3-1. That one was also in the outer part of the zone, but fouled away by Crawford. Full count. Yeah, Blanco's on the 15-day injured list. That means he won't be back. It says elbow inflammation, so that means that he'll have Tommy John surgery and we won't see him for 2 years. That's how the Astros reporting goes about injuries, right? First pitch, the next pitch, swing and a miss. How do you like that? Strikeout number 7 for McCullers. Strikes out Crawford. How do you like that? So after giving up a run in each inning, the first and the second, McCullers comes back with 2 goose eggs in the third and the fourth. All right, nice little comeback. Pitch count still a little high. He's averaging almost 20 pitches per inning right now. He won't be able to last much longer. If he pitches another 20, the next inning will be the last for him for sure. He might not even be able to make it through the inning. But as it stands now, the Astros are going to come up in the bottom of the fourth, starting with Christian Walker, followed by Caratini, and then Myers. What is going on in the live chat, guys and gals? Let's see. Anything? Mark says, get views for tomorrow. Diddy pitching for Miss. You'll blow up. Okay. Yeah, I can put that in the thumbnail. I've been making my thumbnails into anime images. Maybe I can do a Diddy style thumbnail. How about that? That would be very confusing for people. I've been camped out on 22 likes on the live stream. And once it got to 22, it just kind of stalled. But then again, viewers haven't gone up over 20. So it kind of makes sense, right? I've got a few messages here. You know what's kind of crazy is that the relationship that I have with this this Vietnamese girl is such a big question mark. And yet I'm still getting messages from my 2 ex-girlfriends in China. They still message me. One is a lot more direct than the other. Second pitch is on the way to Walker. Wow, that was actually outside but called a strike. The count is even. It should have been 2-0, but it's 1-1 right now. Here's the next pitch from Kirby. A little high and outside. Luckily called a ball by the umpire. 2-1. This count should be 3-0 right now. Looks like Walker's got himself a mustache going on. You guys... I couldn't get the button clicked in time. Next pitch is fouled off high out of the zone. That could have been ball 4. Yeah, look at that. He's got himself the handlebar type mustache going on there. He looks like a completely different feller. It looks kind of like Glenn Davis right now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the toss. Swing and a miss. Strikeout for Kirby. He gets Walker to go down on that 96-mile-an-hour sinker, up and out. 1 away. The Batman Caratini comes back to the plate. Caratini was able to muscle himself a single after getting down in the count. His last at bat. First pitch is a swing and a miss there. 97, right down the middle. The bat couldn't get the bat on it. 0-1 is the count. Women in holding patterns. Yes, you're right, Mark. It's interesting because one is just like orbiting way on the outside. Every once in a while, maybe 2 or 3 times a year, she'll message me and say, what are you doing, or how are you doing? Wow, that one's way up and in for ball 1. Count is even on Caratini. She was my last girlfriend. We were together for over 3 years. Girlfriend before that, maybe we were together for 1.5 years. Maybe 2 years. Caratini hits that one to second base. He kind of bobbles it, but he has plenty of time to pick it up and go to first base. Caratini grounds out for out number 2. Nothing exciting on that play. But my first girlfriend that I had in China, she just messaged me again today. She messaged me a few days ago. She messages me probably 3 or 4 times a month. And sometimes she's pretty direct. She talks about how she misses me and she wishes she could be with me. She still loves me, etc., etc. So she's very aggressive. Jake Myers is at the plate now. He takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. Next pitch is just fouled off with a half swing, a half check swing from Myers. 1 ball, 1 strike. Scissor says, you deserve to be loved. You're a great man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I like to think so myself. Appearances are so difficult to fight sometimes, you know. Top of the zone for strike 2 on Myers. That was a nice pitch by Kirby. 96 right in the top of the zone. Myers takes a little time out. 1-2 is the count. One of those things about life that I really believe that we have to face, the number one most important thing in life is to fight our emotions. Low and outside, 97, missing the mark. Evens the count 2-2. If you really think about it, Whenever things appear to be a certain way, we react emotionally, but that's not automatic. We can choose to feel and think otherwise. Myers goes right up the middle. How about that? Mr. Baseball with a smack up the middle. We have ourselves a 2-out runner. 2-2, single up the middle. That means the Astros will score more runs, right? Whenever they get a base runner with 2 outs, that's prime time for scoring runs. Heck yes. Cam Smith comes to the plate, looking for his second hit of the game. Kirby throws over to first base. Boo! Boo! Myers gets back, no problem. Myers 2 stolen bases away from double digits on the season. First pitch to Cam's on the way, high and inside. 96 miles an hour on that pitch. But yeah, Caesar, I'd say that I'd really like to be healthy, happy, loved, and be doing all of my dream stuff all the time. That'd be nice. Outside, ball 2, 2-0. Crank it up, Cam. 1 single and a run scored today for Mr. Smith. And here is a 2-0 pitch with 2 outs, runner on first. Just a little outside. Good take. That was about 3 inches off the edge of the plate. Definitely not worth swinging at. Good eye. Make him pitch. 64 pitches now for Kirby. Nothing compared to McCullers, but still, he's starting to get up there. Here comes the next pitch. Oh, swing and a miss. That was right in there, right in the top of the zone. He went after it. 95 mile per hour pitch. 3-1 is the count now. Here comes the next toss from Kirby. Cam check swings, but it doesn't matter. That's a strike either way. That's in there. Should have committed to that one. That was a good looking pitch. Full count with 2 outs. Jake Myers on first base here in the bottom of the 4th. Will Smith come through and do something here? We're about to find out. You can do it. Here's the pitch. Myers is off to the races, but that's ball 4. All right, way up and in. And now we have Jake Myers in scoring position as Cam walks to first base. Kirby has actually hit more batters than he's walked batters. Looks like the pitching coach is going to come out and have a little chit chat with him. Make sure everything's on the up and up. No bullpen action is going on right now, so I guess they're just wanting to give him a break. 2 runners on with Mauricio Dubon at the plate. Dubon had himself a nice hit the last at bat. "19 people watching right now and 22 likes on the live stream. If you haven't already, feel free to like right now." Kirby is now facing Mauricio Dubon. We'll have the first pitch in just a moment. 2 runners on, first and second, with 2 outs. In the bottom of the 4th, the Astros now have 4 hits. 1 more than the Mariners, but this game is tied at 2. Let's see if the Astros can change that right here. Here's the first pitch to Dubon. Ooh, lower inner part of the zone. 95 mile per hour sinker, strike 1. Once again, Dubon not swinging at that first pitch. Shocking. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Fouled off. That was kind of a lazy swing. Just threw the bat out there, right in the middle of the plate. 0-2. Mariners have a couple of guys warming up in the bullpen now, but it might not need them this inning. Unless Dubon pokes it. That's all we need. A little poke, a little pokey poke. Just poke it into the outfield. Just a little poke. Myers can definitely score. He's got the speed. Here's the toss from Kirby. On the outside, just misses by a couple of inches. That was a good take by Dubon. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Come on, Doobie. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Ruby-Ruby-Roo. Come on, Doobie. 70 pitches now for Kirby. Here comes the 71st. To the right side, and it's through. That's going to score Myers for sure. He's all the way in. He does it. Dubon does it. The throw comes home, but it is too late. I knew that there was no way he was going to get that one. Not with Myers going on 2 outs. Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Runners on the corners now. Astros up 3-2. How do you like that? Mauricio Dubon coming through with back-to-back singles. That one to opposite field just past Tellez at first base. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And this inning isn't over yet. The Astros have runners on the corners. Another opportunity here with Jeremy Pena at the plate. He's been hit twice by pitches. He hasn't had the opportunity yet to really have a good at bat. Let's see if he gets a nice swing here. And he does. He hits it hard out to left field all the way to the wall. It's off the wall. That's going to be a double for Pena. That's going to score 2 runs for sure. Yes, absolutely. Dubon is all the way in. The Astros lead this game 5-2. Jeremy Pena with a double off the wall in center field breaks this game open. Heck yes. The Flash gets his revenge against Kirby for hitting him twice with a ball off the wall in left center field. How do you like that? The Flash does it. Jeremy Pena finally gets a good pitch to hit. And look at this. That wasn't even a double, guys. He made it all the way to third. That was a triple, not a double. And that's it for George Kirby. They're taking him out of the game. Pena ended his night, and rightly so. Poetic justice right there. Kirby threw his very first pitch of the game and hit Pena right in the back and the arm. Next at bat that Pena had, Kirby hit him again on the arm. This at bat, Pena gets a triple, drives in 2 runs, and knocks Kirby out of the game. So Kirby hits him, Pena hits back. Take that. 5-2 Astros in the bottom of the 4th. Now this is the kind of game that the Astros need to be producing, especially against teams like the Mariners. Heck yes. Clint says, looking like 2023 Dubon. Yeah, any Dubon that... I know that Dubon is not a power hitter. He's not power in anything, right? He's a good utility player. He is above average in basically most categories. But he's obviously not a power player. If he would play to his strengths like he just did, he would be an amazing player with a great batting average. He could be batting well above 300 if he would just focus on doing what he's been doing this game. Just get those singles. Get on base. The Astros' bottom of the lineup has been getting it done. Let's take a quick look here. Pena has a triple. Altuve has an RBI. Sacrifice RBI. Fly ball. Caratini has a single. Myers has a single. Cam Smith has a single. Dubon has 2 singles. 8 hits for the Astros right now and 5 runs. That's the kind of production I like to see. 5 runs on 8 hits. And no home runs. How do you like that? Still an opportunity to get another run. Pena's on third, and he's super fast. One of the fastest in the majors. And our man, Isak the ball. Paredes is at the plate facing Edward Bazardo. Here's the next pitch. First one to Paredes is outside and in the dirt. Ball one. Do I have Bazardo's picture? Maybe so. I think I do, actually. Yeah, I do. I have his picture in my folder. Here comes the next pitch. Paredes takes that one also low and in the dirt. Ball two. 2-0. Paredes hits this one really hard to left field. That might be to the wall. Oh, just shy of the wall. Holy cow, he threatened it. The crowd got really excited about that one. That was almost a 2-run shot. Man, how exciting was that? Almost. Give the man a hand. You know, he gave it the old college try, right? It was almost there. That's the end of the fourth, guys, but the Astros put a few more on the board. They tie the game up in the third, put 3 more on the board in the fourth. So the first inning and the second inning belonged to the Mariners. They got 1 and 1. But the third and the fourth have belonged to the Astros, and they have 2 and 3. This game is 5-2. We move into the top of the fifth. McCullers will be back on the mound in a moment. He's already up to 77 pitches. Likely his last inning right here. 21 people following along right now. The numbers have kind of stabilized around 20. 22 likes, still sitting at 22 likes. It's unclear if I'm going to get to 30 today, but as the game progresses closer to the end, it's possible that it might go up. That's interesting. I just got a message from Starlink saying that my satellite dish is obstructed. It could be affecting my connection. That's interesting. I'm not even at home right now. What's really cool is that I can operate that dish remotely from anywhere I'm at with my Starlink app. It's pretty neat. But when I get back home, I have to put my dish in a different location because my house is blocking it. McCullers is back on the rubber. First pitch to Jorge Polanco is on the way. It's in the dirt for ball one. Two strikeouts for Polanco. Here comes the next pitch. Another one kind of low and in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Bounced foul. The slider. Getting him to swing. 81 miles an hour. He comes around way too early. 2-1 is the count. Needs some kind of pole or something. That pitch is in there. Slider, 82 miles an hour. Strike 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the next toss to Polanco. He gets the swing and a miss. Another strikeout. Number 8 for McCullers. How about that? Man. That one broke almost into the dirt. Beautiful pitch. Polanco strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. Right in there Cal Raleigh is at the plate, takes that first pitch. Slider right in there. 0-1. Here comes the next toss. Swing and that was like a half swing, a half-hearted swing. He fooled him on that one. Man, McCullers looking really nice right now. Is he finding his groove after 84 pitches? He gets to 80 pitches. Here comes the next pitch. In the dirt. Check swing. Did he go? They say he didn't. It didn't look like he went, but you know, it never hurts to check. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hey Glenn, greetings to you. Glad to see you here. 1 out, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Cal Raleigh. Here's McCullers' next pitch. That one's too low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. And the dirt again, full count. He's not putting it close enough to make it competitive. Not tempting Raleigh to swing. 1 out, no runners on, a full count. Here comes the pitch. Another K. Nope, grounded up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. Dubon was playing a bit far over to the right, leaving a big gap there between him and second base. 1 out, base runner. That brings up Randy Arozarena. Here's the next pitch. First one to Arozarena. In there for strike 1. 0 for 1 today with a walk. And the count is also 0-1. Here comes the next toss. Up and in. But just inside for strike 2. 2 straight strikes. 90 pitches now for McCullers. Here comes the 91st. Hit up the middle, and that's going to be another base hit. Raleigh stops at second, and Arozarena is at first. 2 back-to-back singles, or rather, back-to-back singles for the Mariners. Looks like Joe Espada is going to take McCullers out. That's it for McCullers. Sean Dubin is warming up in the bullpen, so it looks like he's going to come in the game. 5-2 lead for McCullers with about 8 strikeouts. Well, you know, you can't poo-poo the strikeouts, but he wasn't able to get through but 4 1/3 of an inning. His pitch count is just way too high. He got up to 91. He's still throwing way too many pitches. Where's Sean Dubin? I know that I have his picture in my folder. I'm going to put him in. There we go. All right. Pitching is updated. There we go. Just a fun little poll. Ask about a possible sweep. You guys can take a look at that. Glenn says, I see 24 likes. Yeah, on the screen. That's right. 26 people following right now. 24 likes. I'd like to see that go up to 30 if you guys can help me out before the end of the game. That'd be really nice. Sean Dubin is on the mound. The first pitch is coming in just a moment to Rowdy Tellez. Here it comes right now. Ooh, he gets the call, low and inside. 0-1. Tellez didn't like that so much, but it was on that lower inside corner. Oh, 1 in the dirt and inside. Ball 1-1. Runners on first and second with 1 out, 1 ball, 1 strike. Sean Dubin dealing on the mound now, relieving Lance McCullers. Here's the toss. Fouled back on that 95-mile-per-hour fastball. Tellez down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fourth pitch of the game for Dubin on the way in just a moment. Here it comes. This one's hit hard to right field. It's going to be down for a hit. Cam Smith grabs it and brings it in. Luckily, the Mariners do not score a run, but the bases are loaded with 1 out. Man, how did he get that one? That one went down and away. And he just went down and got it. Decent hitting there. Golfs it out into right field. Taveras comes to the plate. Takes that first pitch in the top of the zone for strike 1. 82-mile-per-hour curveball. 0-1 is the count. How about a double play ball, Dubin? That would be just what the doctor ordered. Here comes the 0-1 count pitch. Fouled away. Strike 2. Abel Rodriguez says, I appreciate all the work you put in to make it possible for us to stay updated. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It's really not as easy as it seems. Maybe for some people. And when I first got started, I thought, before I actually started doing it, I thought that it shouldn't be too difficult. But, you know, it takes commitment and a lot of work. So thank you. Next pitch, swing and a miss. Dubin picks up the strikeout. Heck yes. 4-seam fastball upstairs, 96 miles an hour. That's 2 away with bases loaded. Dylan Moore comes to the plate. Here's the pitch. That's in there, 96 on the top of the zone, strike 1. Dubin is starting everybody off with a strike, it looks like. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the pitch. Ooh, another one right in there. He froze him up. He started to go, but held back. Paid the price. 84 miles per hour on the Swiffer. 0-2. Once again, jumping out to the lead in the count. 0-2. Here's the pitch. Fouls that one back. Count remains 0-2. Dubin up to 10 pitches now this inning. One and 2 is the count. Here comes the pitch. Pops straight up on the infield. Dubon's got it for out number 3. Heck yes, we get out of that inning with no damage done. Dubin comes in and gets those last couple of outs. McCullers doesn't get any more runs tacked on. Just 2 earned runs from McCullers this game. We go into the bottom of the 5th. Astros leading 5-2. 3 base runners stranded for the Mariners. It's nice to see the other teams stranding base runners for a change instead of the Astros. 6 hits, is that right? Yes, 6 hits. I thought the Astros had 8. I read that wrong. They only have 6 hits, but they have 5 runs. How's that for run production? And not a single home run. The Mariners also have 6 hits, but only 2. The Astros are up by 3. 26 people following along right now. I appreciate you being here. I'm at 24 likes on the live stream. I'd like to get it to 30. I'd love to get it to 30. If you can do that, I'd appreciate it very, very much. If you haven't subscribed, by the way, if you guys haven't subscribed but you're interested in the live play-by-play, that's almost all I do on this channel is the live play-by-play for the Astros games. I am in Japan, so occasionally I do not do the afternoon games. That's because for me they are about 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. It depends on how I feel. Last night I was planning to do the 2 o'clock game. It was 2 a.m. for me. But not only was I tired and sleepy, but I actually set my alarm incorrectly. I set it for 2 p.m. So it didn't wake me up. It just so happens that I woke up about an hour and a half into the game and I had to go use the toilet, and I realized, oh my gosh, the game is on, but it was too late, an hour and a half into the game, so I just went back to sleep. My hero, Jose Altuve, is at the plate. Very first pitch, he goes after it and pops it up. Is it going to be playable? No, it goes into the crowd, thankfully. 0-1 is the count. It looks like Bizzardo is staying in the game for the Mariners. Next pitch to Altuve's on the way. Ooh, he takes that one, unfortunately. That's a strike, low and in. Splitter, 91 miles an hour. 0-2 is the count. Altuve doesn't have a hit yet today, but he does have a sacrifice fly. Next pitch is a little outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Altuve is the leadoff batter this inning. Stephen Fried Ogert is going in the bullpen for the Stros. Here's the next pitch to Altuve. That one's so far outside the catcher missed it. It goes to the backstop. 2 balls and no strikes. I'm sorry, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Why did I say no strikes? Where am I at? It's because I can't get more coffee. I really want to get more coffee, but at this Net Cafe, I can't bring it in here and I have to go upstairs to get it. Here's the next pitch. In the dirt. Good take by Altuve. That one had a big drop on it, but Altuve didn't go for it. He's like, no thanks, I don't want to swing at that one today. I don't feel like golfing it out of the dirt. Full count. Make him work, man. Now you can punish him. Leadoff base runner, come on. Here's the full count pitch to Altuve. This is hit hard to left field, all the way out to the wall. It might be gone. Yes, it is. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Altuve with the home run. The first home run of the game for the Astros and the first home run for Altuve in a long time. I had been waiting for that to happen. That's the man right there. 6-2 Astros with that solo shot from Altuve to left center field. On a full count pitch, Altuve does it. 403-foot home run. That was a line drive shot. A laser out to left center field. And that brings up Yainer Diaz. Takes that first pitch low and outside. Ball 1. 2 RBIs for Altuve today, a sacrifice fly, and a home run. Yainer Diaz with a single, a line drive into left field. Look at that. He rips that into left field. The Astros are starting to hit Bizardo. That might bring a visit from the mound. They're showing that sinker that Altuve went after and smacked out of the park. Excellent swing, just went right through it, just went down and went right through it. Christian Walker is at the plate with a runner on, no outs. Right on the outside edge of the plate. Strike one. I think at the end of this inning, I'll actually try to make a trip upstairs to grab some coffee. Drink it down real fast. Low and outside, ball one. The count is even. I'm like McDonald's with this game. I'm loving it. I'm loving this game. Mark back. Welcome back, Mark. Good to see you. Here's a pitch. Low and outside again, almost in the exact same spot. 2 balls and 1 strike. Walker has the definite ability to plug it into the Crawford boxes himself. Bizardo's probably trying to keep it away from him. And he does on that one. The exact same pitch 3 times in a row. Walker took it for ball, and then swung at it for strike 2. The count is even. Diaz on first. 6-2 Astros are up with that solo home run from Altuve. No outs right now. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Bizardo. Fouled off on the inside. The slider. Not able to get past Walker. 26 people following along. Thanks so much for being here. I've got 23 likes. Oh, 25 likes. Need 5 more to get to 30. Help me out. Toss me a bone. Here's the next pitch to Walker. Just a little outside. Got ourselves a full count. Is Walker going to live up to his name? Or is he going to become Crusher? Crush the ball out. Let's see. He's going to become Striker. Swing and a miss on the slider right down the middle of the plate. 80 miles an hour. And he just wasn't prepared. He wasn't ready. And that brings up the Batman. 1 for 2 with a single today. Got that serious look as usual. Low and inside, ball 1. Yainer still over on first, waiting for somebody to move him around. Caratini, lefty, batting lefty. He could do it in the bottom part of the zone. Kind of low, but a strike. Can't blame Caratini for taking that one. 1-1 is the count. 20 pitches now for Bizardo. 1-1. Here's the toss. That was a line drive grounder. Right into the dugout over there. Strike 2. 1-2 is the count against Caratini. Mark says had to organize layout for drawings. It's good to get organized, man. I've got so much stuff to clean up and get organized out of my house. It's not even funny. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Caratini. Here's the pitch. Low and inside. Good take. Counts even. 2-2. Bizardo's next lob is on the way. Low and in the dirt. Outside. Another full count. Walker went after a pitch right in the middle of the plate on a full count and couldn't connect. Let's see what the Batman does differently here. Here comes the pitch. He fouls it off. That's a better result than striking out, is it not? Diaz on first. Probably going to sleep over there. Hey, look at that. Right down the first base side. Blocked by the first baseman, but it bounces off his glove and trickles into foul territory. But that's a fair ball. Tellez couldn't handle it. That's going to be a base hit for Victor Caratini as he rips it down the first baseline. We have runners on first and second. Right down the first base side. Look at that. Tellez dove for it. Just barely unable to grab it. I don't know why. I don't know why Diaz stopped. That wasn't a line drive. Jake Myers comes to the plate with runners on first and second. The first pitch is on the inside for strike one. An 81-mile-per-hour slider. 0-1. Runners on first and second, guys. More opportunities for the Astros to tack on some runs. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Myers hits that one out to right field. Not really deep enough for a tag. Mastroboni throws it in. Yiner stays on second base. 2 away. 3 more likes to get to 30. I've got 28 people following along right now. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining. Comments, likes, and subscriptions are all greatly appreciated. Even donations, if you feel so led to buy me a coffee. I'd be very happy about that. I could definitely use the money to recoup my medicine costs. First pitch is right in there to Cam Smith. An 84-mile-per-hour slider right across the plate. Where did it slide? Right across the plate. 0-1 with 2 outs, 2 on. Too far inside. Speaking of twos. 6-2 is this game right now. Astros so far this inning tacked on 1 more run from Altuve's solo homer. Here's the 1-1 count to Cam. Cam hits it pretty hard, but it looks like it's going to be too high. It's playable for the left fielder. And Arozarena puts it away for out number 3. But the Astros do come away with 1 thanks to that man right there, my hero, Jose Altuve. Big home run for him. Just a solo shot, but that's a confidence booster. All right, we go into the top of the 6th, guys. 6-2 Astros, and I'll be right back. I'm going to grab myself a drink. Give me just a few moments. Alright guys, I am back. I missed first few pitches here. Steven Okert is on the mound now, facing Leo Rivas. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. 2-2. I actually got up there and got back a little faster than I thought. Only missed the first few pitches. No outs. Didn't miss anything significant. Fried Okert on the mound. I know I've got his picture in here. Next pitch is on the way. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fouled off again on the first base side. Into the crowd it goes. Count remains 2-2. All right, we have Fried Okert in the game. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch to Rivas. Low and inside. Full count. Here comes a full count pitch. Swing and a miss. Okert starts it off with a strikeout here in the top of the 6th. Nice slider. Where's your trident now? That brings up Ben Williamson to the plate. A righty. He bounces that one just foul down the third baseline. "29 likes, guys. 1 more to get to 30. How about that? 25 people following along right now. Thanks for being here. Just 1 more like to 30. How's that? That's awesome. Fouled off by Williamson. 0-2. I'm not actually supposed to have a drink in this Net Cafe booth. My bad. But I just need something to drink. Swing and a miss. Okert with back-to-back strikeouts. That one was almost no effort at all. 3 straight pitches. How do you like them apples? Fried Okert with a side of apples. I need to do an anime image of Steven Okert with some fried okra. That's what I need. I'm going to put that on my to-do list when I get back home. Swing and a miss. Another strike. Wow. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least 5 strikes in a row for Okert. J.P. Crawford at the plate. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Just a little high and outside. 94 mile an hour fastball. Ball. Well, it was past the batter, past the plate, but not a passed ball. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. That is past the bat. Crawford asks for timeout. 1-2 with 2 outs, nobody on. Bit Dog says Fuji apples at that. Yeah, man. Heck yeah. Get you some Fuji apples. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Low and outside. I'm looking for that strikeout. How awesome would it be for Okert to get 3 strikeouts in a row? 2-2 is the count right now. By the way, guys, I don't mind plugging my other channel. I'm going to mention that again because, you know, you can see what I'm doing here in Japan. I'll post that link again in a minute. Here's the pitch, the 2-2. Swing and a miss, another strikeout. Heck yes. How do you like that? What does the Astros commentator usually say? He says good morning, good afternoon, and good night. 3 strikeouts in a row. That is awesome. But yeah, I bought a 200-year-old house in Japan, in Hiroshima. It's in northern eastern Hiroshima. This is the channel. If you guys are interested in that, you can always find me over there. You can actually see me and all the stuff I'm doing out at the house. I've got several things going on in my life right now, but the most important thing is save my life. That's the best way I know to put it. Save my life. Stop eating sugar. Stop drinking sugar. Do some fasting. Get rid of this tumor. Save my kidney if I can. Definitely save my life. I need to. You know, it's difficult, guys. You know, it's already difficult enough to get a disease and be told that you're not going to be around much longer. But whenever you don't have anybody close, right? You're not close to your family. And even if you want to be close to your family, they just aren't close to you. It's emotionally disconnected. And then on top of that, to not be married, to not have a spouse to support you, to not have a child to be there for you, to not have really close friends nearby, it's difficult. And some people have said to me, even the doctors here in Japan, they've tried to get me to go back to America. They tried to convince me to go back to America. And I've had to explain to them several times, you don't understand. My family just don't really care. Don't really care. My family is what you call an enmeshed family. You know, you step outside of what they're doing and then you're the enemy. All right, Dubon is at the plate. He's facing Jesse Hahn. First pitch is in there for strike 1. Here's the next toss. This one's tapped to the right side. The second baseman handles it, fires to first. Dubon goes down on 2 pitches. I wonder if I have Jesse Hahn in my folder. Let's see, I might be able to change his name. Change the picture. Yeah, I do. I have Jesse Hahn in my folder. There we go. That brings up Pena. Pena has a triple, and he's been hit by a pitch twice today. That first pitch to him is 96 miles an hour, right in the middle of the plate, strike 1. Pena has had a good but painful day today. Swing and a miss on that outside pitch. Was that a Swiffer? Yes, it was. The sweeper, or what I call a Swiffer. 0-2 just like that. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Hahn. Jesse Hahn solo. Way outside. The Swiffer cleaning up the dirt out there. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Pena. BitDog says had chicken fried steak, rather. Chicken fried steak. Hey, looks like Pena's going to have another hit. No, it's caught. He hit it too hard. Ripped a line drive. I thought for sure that was going to be down, but the left fielder was right there and was able to nab it. Once again, an example of just hitting the ball too hard. Pena, what are you doing? What are you thinking hitting the ball that hard? 10 home runs for Paredes this year. He's the man at the plate right now with 2 outs, nobody on. First pitch in the top of the zone. 95 mile per hour fastball. Here's the next pitch. Oh, Paredes gets hit. Another hit by pitch. Third Astros hit by pitch this game. Twice Pena got hit. And now this one went right at Isaac Paredes. Man, that one was really dangerous. Way up high. Look Look at this. Right off the... Very close to getting weight. Look how close this was. I mean, it got him on the arm there, but not too far off from his face. Dangerous stuff right there. Calm down, Mr. Hahn. That brings up the man, my hero, Jose Altuve. Altuve with the solo home run, his last at bat. Now he's got a man on base. He hits it again to the Crawford boxes. This could be another. It is. It's gone. Altuve with another home run. My God, yes. Altuve. Happy. God, I love that man. He doesn't even know it, but I love him. Oh, man. Look at that. Yeah, I got tears in my eyes. I'm so happy to see that. Look at that. Yes, that's right. He's pointing at the bullpen. Yanner Diaz is at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. I'm so busy celebrating Altuve and watching the highlights there. Whew. Man, 8-2 Astros. I haven't even changed the score yet. 2 balls. That was a ball to Diaz. So excited to see Altuve get this game. Just a little outside. 3 balls, 1 strike to Diaz. He does have a hit today. 2 outs, no runners on. 3-1 is the count. Here's the pitch. Low and outside, ball 4. Diaz is going to be on. Another base runner for the Astros. Man, right in the middle of the plate. Right? How dare you? How dare you throw a pitch right down the middle of the plate on the very first pitch to Jose Altuve? How dare you? I know what highlights I'm going to be getting later on. You guys be looking for that. Here's the next pitch. This is to Christian Walker. He fouls it off. Strike 1. Man. Jordan says, can't wait to see your house. Thank you so much. I look forward for to showing more of it to you guys. There's a lot to do out there. There really is. If you ever visit Hiroshima, you're welcome to come help me. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Walker. Right up the middle. Right center field. That's another base hit. Diaz is going to go to third base. This inning is not over yet. Runners on the corners with 2 outs. Christian Walker with the opposite field single. Astros piling on some runs, man. Punish the Mariners. This is the team you want to punish. You want to make them scared of you. Destroy them. Finish him. Victor Caratini at the plate, the Batman. How about a lefty home run? How about another one right here? We need a lefty home run. We got a right-hander on the mound. Could happen. Here's the first pitch to Caratini. Low and inside. Ball 1. He probably doesn't want to pitch to Caratini. Caratini's ripping the ball. He did have a hit his last at bat. And he is 2 for 3 today. He can definitely pull it out into the right field boxes. Here's the pitch. Ooh, curveball, 79 miles an hour, right in there for strike 1. 1-1. Wilbine says that's the kind of player Altuve is. Never count him out. I hope he stays hot after this game. Me too, brother. Me too. Way inside. 2-1 against Caratini. That's the thing about Altuve. Yeah, he's struggling. He's been struggling, but he's Altuve. He finds a way. He comes out of it. He digs himself out. Bid Dog says top of the order, finally getting it done. Finally, yes, absolutely. Here's the next pitch. Fouled off the right to the right side by Caratini. Nice little rip foul. But that is strike 2. The count is even, 2-2. How many people are following along right now? 22? Oh, I got to 30 likes. Thank you, guys. Right around the time Altuve hits the The 2-run shot, the back-to-back home runs. I get to 30 likes. It's a good day today. Caratini steps back into the box. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on the corners. Astros have already scored 2 runs. How about 2 more? 3 more? Little high and outside. Good take. Full count. I want a t-shirt that says, I love me some Altuve. I wish all my shirts were Altuve. I would wear Altuve shirts every day. Here's the pitch. That's the opposite field hit by Caratini. That's going to score another run. Diaz strolls home. We have runners on first and second with an RBI for Mr. Batman himself, Victor Caratini. 9-2 Astros. Let's take another look at that. Nice smooth swing right in the middle of the plate. 92-mile-per-hour sinker. Went down and got it. Nice. Now the Astros pause for a moment while they have a meeting on the mound. The Mariners have a little chit-chat. I don't know really what they're talking about. They're losing 9-2. Hey guys, what are you going to do after the game? You mean this game? I mean besides cry? And get my mommy to hold me, rock me to sleep, sing me a little lullaby while I sit on her lap, put my head on her lap and cry. Jake Myers comes to the batter's box. Mr. Baseball with 2 runners on and 2 outs. This inning is not over. Here comes the first pitch to Myers. Wow, that was bounced outside. How did he catch that one? Runners could have advanced on that if it had passed. 1-0 is the count. Clint says stop before 10 runs. You must have a bet going on. Here comes the next pitch to Myers. Way outside again. 2 wild pitches there. Check swing, but they say he didn't go. Didn't look like he went, but you know, you got to try. You got to petition that first base ump. Give him an opportunity to get that strike for ya. Even if it's unfair, can't blame him for trying. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Myers takes that high in the zone, but that is a strike, my friend. 95-mile-per-hour sinker. 2 balls and 1 strike. Abel says, I'm thinking that maybe the percentage of a sweep should be greater. Here's the next pitch. Way outside again and low. 3 balls and 1 strike. All three of these balls rather, have been low and outside in the dirt. If Myers gets on right here, Cam Smith would be up with bases loaded. How about that? Next pitch is on the way. Oh, on the outside edge. He took it. Didn't look like he was going to swing. But that was a good pitch. 3-2 is the count. Myers, you just need either get a single or walk. Keep this inning going just for fun. Just for fun. Let's keep it going. And it goes up the middle, hits off the pitcher. He's going to grab it and toss it over to first. He barely beats Myers with it. That'll be out number 3. How about that other swing from Altuve, though? 2-run home run. Back-to-back jacks for my all-time personal favorite hero. Living the dream right now, being able to watch and call games for Jose Altuve. All right, Astros up 9-2. They tack on 3 more runs that inning. Owning this game so far against the first-place Seattle Mariners. Our division rival. Right now, our number 1 division rival, the one team that we really need to win against. They lose, we win. That's what we call win-win, right? Top of the 7th coming up. BitDog says, oh, Clint says the 10-run curse. Okay, I don't know anything about that. I can see what you're saying, but I don't know anything about that. BitDog says save some runs for tomorrow. Yeah, people say that, but I don't mind them running it up. If the Astros win this game 20-2, it's fine by me. 30-2, as far as I'm concerned. Keep scoring. Just keep scoring. See, that's the thing, though. The way I look at it is, if they just keep scoring every inning, just scoring and scoring and scoring and scoring and scoring, and they wind up getting like 15, 16, 17 runs, and everybody in the lineup is getting hits, and the Mariners keep having to change pitchers, and of course at some point they're going to have a position player come in, and just toss batting practice. But how cool would it be for them to bring in a few more relievers and the Astros just keep plugging away? What great confidence this would give this Astros team and the fans right now. I mean, think about it. Altuve has already hit 2 home runs this game, and he was so cold recently. But the Astros now have 12 hits, and the run production has been amazing. 9 runs. 9 runs on 12 hits, guys. They've only given up 2 runs. McCullers started this game, and the Astros have only given up 2 runs. And now my favorite pitcher is on the mound, Brian King. This guy won me over last year. Here's the next pitch. The very first one for King is inside and high for ball 1. I've got a funny picture for Brian King. That pitch is in the top of the zone for a strike. I'm going to put in my Brian King Magnum PI picture. Next pitch is a little outside for ball 2, 2-1. That one's hit way high out into right field. Cam Smith is underneath it. Had to make an adjustment at the last moment, but he grabs it, no problem, for out number 1. 1 away. There we go. I got my Brian King Magnum PI picture on the screen. I love it. Here's the next pitch. First one to Cal Raleigh, up and in. Just barely misses, though. Ball 1. Here's the next pitch from King. On that outside edge. Strike 1. 1-0. Moves to 1-1. Here's the next toss. Right in there, swing and a miss. 91 mile per hour fastball with some movement on it. 1-2. Nine to 2. Here's the next pitch from King, fouled off down the third baseline. Count remains 1-2. 9-2 in the top of the 7th. Astros have been going crazy since the 3rd inning. 2 runs, 3 runs, 1 run, 3 runs. A third of their runs coming from Altuve. Here's the next pitch from King. That one's way outside. 2-2. Here's the next pitch. Ooh, up and out. Kind of lost his grip on that one, I guess. Full count. 1 away, no runners on. Full count to Cal Raleigh. Here's the pitch. Outside edge, fouled away. Count remains full. Pretty interesting Most people think that there's a decent or definite chance of a sweep. Swing and a foul tip at the plate. Caratini couldn't hang on to it. Gonna have another full count pitch. Making King work a little bit. A dozen pitches now. Here's the 3-2. This is hit into center field. That's going to be down for a hit. So Raleigh wins the battle with King that time. But there's a double play in effect right now. Randy Arozarena comes to the plate. He's a good potential ground ball double play victim. First pitch from King is on the way. A little high and outside. 1 ball, no strikes to Arozarena. Number of viewers has gone back down. I guess it's because of the score. Here's the pitch. That's in there. 92 mile per hour fastball. Upper outer corner. 1-1 is the count. Ooh, upper inner corner that time. 97 mile. No, 92. I'm sorry. I was about to say 97. That's really hard for King. He doesn't normally throw that fast. I was just reading it wrong on the screen. My glasses, you know. Just misses with that one. Ball 2. The count is even. Here's the next toss. Fouled off. Count remains even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. King looking for his second out. Where's that ground ball double play we're looking for? Ooh, man, he just barely missed inside right there. The 4-seam fastball missing by 2 inches. Full count. Here comes the toss. That one's hit hard to left field. Another single. Man, another full count single. 2 runners on. King not looking like himself right now, giving up 2 singles like that. 2 runners on with 1 out. Josh Miller, the pitching coach, is going to stroll out there and have a little chat with Caratini and Brian King. Give him a little breather. 374 subs. I am 26 away from 400. My minimal goal for the end of the month is 400 subs. My dream goal for the end of the month is 500. I'm really looking forward to getting to 500 subs. Two runners on. Here's the first pitch to Donovan Solano. Right in the top of the zone. A Swiffer. Strike 1. 0-1. Here comes the pitch. That was that might be the double play ball to Pena, to Dubon, to Walker. And there it is. There's the double play. Came one batter too late, but no damage done. Brian King does his job. As usual, it's the 7th inning stretch. Seventh inning stretch, guys. Astros up 9-2 going into the bottom of the 7th. 12 hits for the Stros, 9 runs. 8 hits for the Mariners, just 2 runs. That's a terrible run production to hit ratio for the Mariners, but that's fine by me. 31 likes on the live stream. Very appreciative of that. Thank you all so much for helping me out with that today. Very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. As soon as this game is wrapped up, I will give you guys a really quick recap of the scoring summary. And after that, a short preview of tomorrow's game. Actually, I might can do that now. I think I can do that now. Let me go ahead and give you a preview of tomorrow's game, so I don't have to do that later. Let's go ahead and take a look at Astros hosting the Mariners tomorrow. This is a 4-game series, by the way. Astros will be playing them Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So 4 days in a row. Tomorrow's game is a little earlier. For me, it's 5:10 in the morning, but I plan to be broadcasting that game because it's not too early. I think I can do that. Go to bed early tonight, get up early tomorrow. Gusto, or Gust. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm looking at it wrong. My bad. My bad. Tomorrow's game is at the same time as today's game. For me, it's 9:10 in the morning, so that's good. The next game, game 3, after that, that's going to be earlier. And then the game 4 is going to be in the afternoon, an afternoon game for the Stros. But tomorrow on the mound, the Astros have Gusto, and he's going to be squaring off against Emerson Hancock. Game 3, Framber Valdez is going to be on the mound, and he'll be facing off against Brian Wu. But no pitcher has been named for Game 4 yet. Actually, Game 4 against the Mariners and Game 1 against the A's, no pitcher has been named as of yet for the Stros. So that's where we are right now. Tomorrow is Gusto, followed by Valdez on Saturday. So there you go. There's the preview for the next games. I don't have to do that later. Let's just get back to this game. They are back from commercial break at Daikin Park. 9-2. The Astros with yet another opportunity to tack on more runs. Let's see if they decide to do it. Colin Snyder is on the mound for the Mariners. I've got his picture in my folder as well. He's facing Cam Smith. Ball 1 just misses. 1-0 is the count. Next pitch to Smith on the way. Just a little outside. 2-0. Next pitch on the way. Fouled off. Strike 1. 2-1 is the count. Cam trying to crank it up there. Two balls, 1 strike to Smith. Here's the pitch. Lower part of the zone. Wow, that could have been a strike. Should have been. Called a ball. 3 balls and 1 strike. There's my man in the dugout right there. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss on the outside edge. The count is now full on Cam Smith. He's just sitting there relaxed, just looking around. Just sitting there by himself, lost in thought. Here's the next pitch to Smith. He fouls that one off. We're going to have another full count pitch in just a moment. Two dozen people watching. 31 likes on the channel. Thank you so much. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Cam Smith. Swing and a miss on that outside edge. Not a good swing, but it was close enough to go after. So I have mixed emotions about that. Swing, yes. Swing well. No, that was not that was not a good swing. He did not swing well. First pitch to Dubon is outside for a ball. Man, it's starting to get hot in here. Are they cranking up the heat on me to try to get me out of here? This one's hit high in the air on the infield. All four infielders are in to get it. That was hilarious. It looked like cockroaches scattering. The pitcher ran out of the way, and all four infielders came in to get it. They put it away for out number 2. That was funny looking. By the way, I just found out that triple for Pena was his 500th career hit. How about that? Speaking of Pena, he's at the plate now. He hits this one into center field in the very first pitch. Right center field, the right fielder takes charge of it, and that's out number 3. 3 up and 3 down, probably a lot of relief on the Mariners side right there. Astros scoring in every single inning from the third. That's the first time they've been shut out. We go to the top of the 8th, guys. We're almost through this. We're almost through this thing. 12 hits for the Astros, 9 runs, 8 hits for the Mariners, and 2 runs. You want to take bets on who is on the mound in the 8th for the Astros? Caleb Ort, maybe? With a 7-run lead, we might see Caleb Ort. I'm going to take a guess, okay? I like to take guesses sometimes. And my guess now is going to be Caleb Ort. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But we'll see. I'm going to commit. I'm even going to type his name in. There we go. I didn't see who was warming up in the bullpen. I think I have a pretty good ratio of guessing who the pitcher is going to be. Good percentage of getting it right. But I don't see a reason to have Abreu in the game right now unless they just want him to pitch. But I don't think they would, considering how they have this 4-game series against the Mariners. You got a 7-run lead. Use Ort. Deody Taveras is going to be on the mound, and guess what? It is Caleb Ward. I was right. It is updated on the screen. Caleb Ward is throwing out the first pitch to Taveras, and that's in there. Low and in the outside lower corner. 0-1. There he is, Caleb Ward. I'm right again. Woohoo! Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fly ball. Center field should be easy play by Myers. He moves around, makes a little snake action, but he gets it for out number 1. 2 pitches, 1 out. Good job so far, Mr. Ort. Dylan Moore is the next victim at the plate. Here comes the toss. Just barely misses high. 96-mile-per-hour fastball. 1-0 is the count. Here's the 1-0 count. Pitch. Ground ball right past a diving Paredes. Single, 1-out single for the Mariners in the top of the 8th. One out, one runner on. 9 hits now for the Mariners. Leo Rivas comes to the plate. He's 0 for 1 today. Here's the first pitch from Ort. A little high and outside. 97-mile-per-hour fastball, missing the mark. One ball, no strikes. Next pitch from Ort. On the way. A few inches above the zone there. Another ball, and it's 2-0. Ort gets the signal, comes set, and he steps off the rubber. No throw over to first. Just gets a little breather. Here comes the next pitch. Right in the bottom of the zone that time. 83-mile-per-hour Swiffer. 2-1. Anything going on in the chat right now? George says, "Oh, don't get worried. It's 9-2. We're all good. We're all good." 3-1 on that pitch, though. Orton missing with that pitch. Might be a double play ball coming in right here, man. Here's the pitch. No, way outside and high. Not even competitive. That's a walk, and we have runners on first and second with 1 out. Or it just needs to remain calm. Focus on the batter. But don't give up the double steal. Very first pitch hit out to right field, real high. Cam Smith running, makes the catch in foul territory. How about that? Ben Williamson with the opposite field foul ball, and Cam Smith with his speed is able to get over there. Long distance covered by Cam Smith, and got it just before he gets to the wall. Is able to slow down enough to grab it and nab it. Good catch. Out number 2. Runners on first and second with 2 outs. J.P. Crawford is now at the plate. Takes the first pitch for strike 1. Here's the next pitch from Ort. Long delay, though. There we go, on the outside, swing and a miss. 97-mile-per-hour fastball. Crawford couldn't catch up to it. 0-2 is the count. He's over 3 today with a walk. Strikeout opportunity here. Here comes the rock toss. Swing and a miss, he gets it. How about that? Ort does it. has a little trouble with the second and third batter, but after that he shuts them down with a fly ball and a strikeout. The relievers maintain the Astros' 7-run lead. We go into the bottom of the 8th. 9-2 Astros. I like saying that. 9-2. Astros 9, Mariners 2. The number of viewers is going down, down, down. Yeah. Astros fans or Mariners fans, either one, probably aren't interested in following a game as it's going into the 9th inning, 9-2. But baseball is one of those games that's never over until it's over. Even if the chance of a comeback or victory is so minuscule. Teams have done strange things, you know. I've got 31 likes today. Altuve has 2 home runs, back-to-back jacks. And I'm really happy to be here. This has really cheered me up today. It's really helped me out. I just want you guys to know, you know, I think that I can say something to you guys that I can't say directly to my girl. The girl that I really love. I absolutely could see myself being with her, being married, and having a family together. And the funny thing is, I'm 50 right now. I'm 50. I have a daughter who's going to be 25 in a few months. But she doesn't talk to me, and which is fine. I'd prefer that she did. But because of some past issues between her mom and I, she kind of turned against me over the years. And so I don't have that opportunity to have a close child, you know. But dating a younger woman gives me an opportunity to have children again. So I have to get healthy. I have to get better. Spear is in the game. New pitcher for the Mariners, Gabe Spear. First pitch is out of the zone for ball 1. Isaac Paredes ready for the next pitch. Here it comes. He hits that one really high. Looks like it's going to be just out of play, and it is. Count is even 1-1. But anyway, I guess what I could say is to you guys, I love her. I wish I could marry her. And I miss her. Ever since she left to go to business school in another city, it's been difficult. That pitch is in there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Paredes. I'm glad I can tell you guys, since I really can't tell her. One ball, 2 strikes to Paredes. Here comes a pitch from Spear. Hit high in the air. That one's also going to go into the seats. Count remains 1-2. Paredes actually, oddly enough, is one of the only Astros with no hit this game. 12 hits for the Stros, 9 runs on the board, and none of them coming at the bat of Paredes. Not so far. Here's the next pitch. In the dirt. Ball 2, and the count is even. Just one little jack right here into the Crawford boxes would put Paredes on the board. It would give him a hit and an RBI at the same time. Game 1, Astros at home versus the Mariners, leading this game 9-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Paredes. Another rip foul ball down the third baseline. 18 people following along. I've got 374 subs. If you are interested in hearing more of the live play-by-plays for the Astros, then please subscribe. If you just like baseball games in general, you can also subscribe. If you're a Mariners fan, you can subscribe until the series is over. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Paredes. That's rocketed right at the third baseman. Good grab. Toss over to first base for the first out. That was a nice catch. Difficult. That brings to bat the guy with back-to-back jacks, Jose Altuve, a solo home run, a 2-run home run. He ambushed him. He ambushed the pitcher on the last at bat. Here's the pitch. He goes after the first one, hits it straight up. It's going to be an infield fly out to the first baseman. He had the right idea. Go after that good pitch. Man, can you imagine seeing 3 home runs in a row from Altuve in a game? Give them 10 runs, that would be nuts. Absolutely nuts. 2 away. Yainer Diaz comes to the plate. He's 1 for 3 today with a single. This one's low and outside for ball 1. $32 likes. Looks like I'm not going to get to 40 unless I get more likes after the live stream is over, but it's still good. Yainer hits that one way, way up in the air. And it goes out into the crowd. 1-1 is the count. 3 more outs after this. The Astros have the opportunity. Here's the next pitch. Right up the middle, another base hit for Yainer. 2-out single. No Yainer today. He started off with the Yainer style with the strikeouts, but he has really come along. Runner on first with 2 outs. And that brings up Mr. Christian Walker. Walker does have a single himself. Here's the pitch. Foul back. Oh, 1 is the count. Yainer on first with 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. Ooh, check swing by Walker, but that is in the upper outer part of the zone. A nice 95-mile-per-hour fastball for strike 2. Here's the next pitch. Walker hits that one way in the air, and that should be playable. Second baseman is calling for it. He's got it. And that's out number 3. Astros strand 1 guy on first. 13 hits for the Stros right now. 9 runs, 1 error. The Mariners with 9 hits, but only 2 runs to show for it. Astros have been giving up hits here and there throughout the game, but overall able to shut them down and leave their runners stranded. 9-2 as it stands going into the top of the 9th. Astros 3 outs away from taking game 1 at home. Game 1 of a 4-game series against the number 1 ranked Mariners in the AL West. Our number 1 rival at the moment. Great start to this series for the Astros, keeping the runs down while driving in runs at the same time. This is a good combination. It's excellent, excellent. Chat has been a little quiet. But I would imagine most of you are just listening in right now, and that's all good. It's kind of chill at the moment, right? Not so much going on. The innings have quieted down a lot. The Astros scored in 4 straight innings, the 3rd through the 6th. Before that, the 1st and the 2nd, they got nothing. The 7th and the 8th, they got nothing. But here we are in the top of the 9th, up by 7. Oof. Three more outs and I can get out of here. I'll give you guys the scoring summary of this game. And then I will see you for game 2 tomorrow. Caleb Ward is still on the mound for the Astros. Swing and miss. No swing. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 ball, no strike, sorry. 2 balls and no strikes to Mitch Garver. I'm trying to get some things sorted out on the screen, so it got me a little flustered there, a little disoriented. The 2-0 pitch is on the way. Swing and a miss on the outside. Good toss. Looked like a Swiffer to me, but they say it was a cutter. 2-1 is the count. Garver is 0 for 1 today. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. This is hit hard to left field, and that's going to be down for a hit. Single, backhanded by Altuve, and he fires it in. Garver stops at first base. A leadoff runner in the 9th inning, or what I call a double play candidate. That brings up Cal Raleigh. 2 for 4 today with 2 singles. He doesn't realize that he's about to be a double play guy. Steps into the box. First pitch on the way in just a moment. Here it comes. Way high, ball 1. Kind of surprised to see Ort in there again this inning after being a little shaky last inning. But I guess they're wanting to give their other pitchers a rest. Here comes the next delivery. Low and inside. Ball 2. Very sparse crowd right now. Very empty. Stay and enjoy the game, man. You paid for it. You're a fan, aren't you? Stay there. Stay there. That's in there. 83 mile per hour Swiffer. 2 balls and 1 strike. Foul ball. To the backstop. Counts 2-2. Pretty pleased with the performance on the video today. As far as likes and views are pretty good. Would love to see more subs though. That'd be really good. Here's the next pitch from Ort. Just a little outside. The count is full. Three balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Runner on first. Next pitch from Ort will come up in just a minute. A little timeout by the batter, Mr. Raleigh. Now he's back in the box. Ort is ready to go. Here comes the full count pitch. Swing and a miss in the dirt. Good pitch, made him chase. 1 out with that strikeout. That was the Swiffer. One away, 1 runner on first. Rosarina at the plate takes that first pitch, 97 miles an hour, right in the zone for strike 1. Man, I'm getting hungry. I need myself some food. I need to get some some protein in me, some tuna, some chicken, something. Just barely outside with that pitch, 98 miles an hour. Maybe 2 inches outside the zone. The count is even. 1-1. Here's the next toss to Rosarena. Ooh, that was a well-placed pitch right there. Talk about painting the corner. Low and outside, but right on that corner. Strike 2. Crowd, the sparse crowd here giving some lethargic cheers, looking for that strikeout. Let's see if Ort can get it. Here comes the pitch. Nope, it's in the dirt. He doesn't go. Runner does not advance. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and 2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss right down the gut. 98 miles an hour in the heart of the plate. Rosarena can't handle it. Look at that. Boom. Rosarena getting the bat underneath that one. Wasn't able to touch it. 2 away. And that brings up Donovan Solano. Here comes the first pitch to him. That goes right up to right center. Is that playable? Cam Smith on the run. How about that? Cam Smith. And that is it for this game. Cam Smith puts it away. Ort comes through with 2 scoreless innings to close this game out. Altuve with back-to-back jacks. Astros with 9 runs. 9-2. The final score of this game. How do you like that? What a great game for the Astros, everyone. I got 17 people following right now at the end of the game. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for being here to the end. If you're an Astros fan, then you could have left already, right? But you stayed, even though the Astros are up by 7 runs, and I appreciate that. If you're a Mariners fan, I'm sorry, but you know that's the way it goes sometimes. We'll see you tomorrow for that game too. But let's do a quick recap. Like I said, we're going to take a look at the scoring summary for this game, and then I'm going to get out of here. The first thing is the Mariners took an early lead in the first inning when Tellez singled to center field, which scored Crawford. 1-0 Mariners. In the second inning, Moore homered to center field, a solo shot. Mariners were up 2-0. From the third inning on, it was all Astros all the time. Paredes grounded into a fielder's choice to third base, scoring Smith. 2-1 Mariners. Again in the third, Altuve hit a sacrifice fly to right field, scoring Dubon. Astros tied it up 2-2. In the bottom of the fourth, Dubon singled to right field, scoring Myers. Astros took the lead 2-3. Pena came up after that, tripled to left field, scoring Smith and Dubon, giving the Astros a bigger lead, 5-2. Altuve came up in the fifth inning and solo homer to left center, 403 feet, 6-2 Astros. In the very next inning, Altuve came to the plate again with another home run, 372 feet to left field, back-to-back jacks, scoring Paredes, 8-2 Astros. And then in the bottom of the sixth, Caratini singled to left field, scoring Diaz, Walker moving Walker to second. Astros up 9-2. And that's where the game would end right there. The tale of the tape here is that even though McCullers had a high pitch count today, he got through 4 1/3 innings with only giving up 2 runs. And then from there, the Astros relievers just shut everything down. The Mariners did have 10 hits today, but the pitchers really shut them down when it mattered most. And that was keeping them from scoring. That's the most important thing. Jordan says, I just caught up with everything else. Now I watch it all again. That's right. That's the update. That's the game review. I've already given you a preview of tomorrow's game. The Astros will be back for a game tomorrow evening at the same exact time as today, Ryan Gusto is on the mound tomorrow facing Emerson Hancock. Astros looking to take a 2-game series early. Let's pull for that sweep, guys. Let's really pull for that sweep. This is the team we need to sweep. But that's all for me for now. I'm going to pack up everything here at this Net Cafe and get my butt out of here. Again, to all of you who stayed and listened in and supported the channel today and who support the channel every day, thank you so much. And as usual, the only thing left for me to say is, well, first of all, let me end the poll. A lot of you think that there's a chance for a sweep and a decent chance for a sweep, so I believe so too. But for now, that's it. And I'll just add, Geaux Stros!